Welcome back to the Friday Matinee on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS.
Yes.
I'm playing 6 Degrees of Separation. We're starting with this,
All
okay?
right, go.
Batman
Robin.
and the Fonz.
Oh, yeah. What?
Okay. All right, Batman and the Fonz.
Why would they have?
would they
How
a
are they
connection?
even remotely connected
I'm
outside
gonna
of the
tell you.
television?
This is something that will break the ice at parties, and you'll win trivia.
Okay, all right, go.
Batman.
Yes.
Burt Ward. Robin
Oh.
as Yellow Cape, tight shorts.
Yes.
Career started waning by the mid-'70s. What did he do? Did a license with Henry Winkler
That's right.
for the poster for the Fonz.
That's right.
And thus saved himself from a failing financial disaster because Batman only lasted 2 seasons. You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
So, another thing. Happy Days, the TV show,
Yes.
started off as a spin-off on Love American Style as Love and the Happy Days.
Okay, George, do
I
you just
remember
know
that.
this because you lived it, or did you look
I
it up
lived it.
before?
No, I lived it. I lived it. Why are we talking
Strangely
about Happy Days?
impressed.
Okay, well, this has been Happy Days trivia. Stay tuned for My Conscious Dad coming up after this. So, why are we talking about Happy Days?
Because down the street,
Where
where gas is 12 cents a gallon and a slice of pie solves most problems, Canyon Theater Guild has Happy Days, the musical.
And we actually have some of, if not all of, have 17 people in here.
Yeah, we crammed them
cast
in.
of Happy Days.
We crammed
Welcome,
them in.
everybody. There we go. Okay, so you have to be close to the mic, but introduce yourselves from my right to your left.
George, you start. The other George.
That would be my left, but that's okay.
Well, you
Go ahead.
You
Hi,
pointed.
everyone. I'm George Chavez playing the Fonz. Hey.
Hello, my name is Tara Cox, and I'm playing Pinky Tuscadero.
My name's Matthew Swanson, and I'm playing Richie Cunningham.
I would never have guessed. I never would have guessed.
Yeah. Oh, this is Nancy Lantis, and I'm playing twin sisters Madge and Midge.
Oh.
I'm Tim Hart. I'm playing Arnold.
Tim
Hart
is
playing Arnold.
Arnold.
I'm Musette King, and I am the choreographer, one of 2 choreographers for the show.
Well,
All right.
there we
Well,
go.
Welcome everybody to the Friday Matinee, and so you're all going back to Arnold's Malt Shop for a reason. There's drama in this musical.
Yeah.
Something goes wrong. So Arnold, tell us.
Apparently, I can't manage this malt shop because I'm losing it.
You're losing it.
Yeah, a big construction company has bought it.
Oh no! And so now you're losing it, and there's dancing and there's singing. So somehow,
Well, how else would you save a malt shop other than
In
dancing
Wisconsin.
and
right,
singing?
right?
And rumor has it they're going to change it to something called a mall of something like that.
Something called a mall. Okay, so Pinky Tuscadero, are you? I don't remember. Was Pinky a good guy or a bad guy? She was kind
Pinky
of.
was a little bit. She was Fonzie's
Right?
ex-girlfriend.
But she was a
But she
little
rode her
edgy and
motorcycle.
she was a
had
little
a
bit-
sister named Leather Tuscadero. I don't think she shows up, though.
She's bad in a good way.
Yeah.
We like those kind of girls. Okay, so Richie Cunningham, I want to ask a couple questions from you. The malt shop this is your second home away from home, right?
Yeah, you always went to the malt shop if you want to know what's going on or hang out with your friends. It's literally the point where all of the commotion happens in town.
It was Facebook Live is what the malt shop was. It's where everybody connected with one another. And here you are, and you're distressed, and who's the person who decides they're going to help save the malt shop? Are you part of that?
Well, I like to try to think of myself being able to fix the problems, but usually I have to turn to either my dad or more likely Fonzie,
Oh, now Fonzie, you're a tough guy. You're a tough guy. You wear the leather jacket, but
And
you're a
the
man
tight
of business. Oh, with the tight jeans?
And the tight jeans.
Okay.
Come for the jacket, stay for the tight jeans. Happy Days, the new musical. And so tight jeans. Sorry, continue.
But are you're a fan of the malt shop, and you're a man of business because that leather jacket means things are getting done. So what's your part in this?
A man of business indeed. I mean, I even have my office there at the malt shop, the men's restroom, as you will, with
Yes.
2 sinks.
2 sinks, no waiting.
Man of business, and it's always the Fonz that tries to come to the rescue. But I'm wondering if he's ever going to come to the rescue in this show.
Oh, I see. I see what you did there. Suspense. There's a lot of suspense in this.
There is.
So let's talk a little bit about putting this together. This is a musical. Now, I can guess at least probably Richie doesn't remember the show when it was actually on the air.
Well, I've watched quite a bit of Happy Days myself and personally enjoy the show.
Outstanding.
On YouTube.
I was going to say, where is...
Reruns.
Reruns. But I want to talk a little bit about the evolution of the show. We talk about this as a musical, and how did I know most of you? I know, but Pinky and Richie, how did you get involved in the show? Did you? I don't recall seeing your faces at the Canyon Theater Guild before.
No, this is my first time at the Canyon Theater Guild. I'm so excited. I did a show called Jesus Christ Superstar at the Rep. And so from that, the vocal director for our show, Carla Bellevue, she reached out to me and said I should come audition.
And next thing you know.
Yeah, it was one of the most fun auditions ever. I sang TNT by AC/DC as my audition song.
And Richie, how did you come to Canyon Theater Guild?
I've done a couple, actually 2 plays at Canyon Theater Guild and a couple of small workshops. And for me, once I saw that they were doing Happy Days, I'm like, I have to be a part of this. I love this show. And for me, I'm like, I know exactly what I'm going to do. I sang Run Around Sue for my audition.
So you knew Happy Days before you auditioned for the musical. You organically knew it. You didn't like start watching it when you read about the audition. So you knew beforehand.
Yeah, exactly.
Where did that come from? How was that even in your consciousness?
Well, because the thing is, my family, I've watched a lot of old media, like a lot of old TV shows. Most people don't know them. Hogan's Heroes, McHale's Navy.
Right.
We know them all. Thanks for
we
dating
know them
us.
all.
My grandmother told me about them.
Ouch.
But I love that you love it because that's awesome writing. That I mean, even though it's dated and even though, some of the humor comes from a very particular place and time, that was incredible television and it holds up and I
Hogan's
love that
Heroes
you're
made
doing that.
Nazis funny. That's not easy to do. Only Mel Brooks is the only other person I know that can do that, and do it for 7 seasons. So, but this is so you kind of have like a nostalgic feel for this.
Yeah.
What about everybody else? Like Nancy, your grandmother telling you about Happy Days, for example.
Sitting by the fire.
But-
And grandmama tell me about old Cunningham.
The Cunningham, back in the old days when our big screen TV was 27 inches big.
Right.
But you're not. Don't know you as a musical type person. What drew you to Happy Days?
Well, I have been, my New Year's resolution for the past 5 years has been to take singing lessons, and I finally took myself up on it this year. And it was great to have Happy Days as an impetus, as a goal, because I don't know, you could start out with like, yeah, I'm going to lose weight. Well, for whatever, 2 weeks later, you're back to the Twinkies, So this was a real good sort of like bar to set for myself. And I knew I just wanted to audition for it because very nostalgic. And the songs are great. And the energy is really great in it when you listen to it. So it was just something I had to go out for. And being my first musical, I was like, hey, whatever I get is going to be awesome.
And
'cause
you
it's gonna
are
be great.
quite the tap dancer, Nancy, might I add.
Please.
Wow. Holding
Here, watch me.
pies along the way.
Look at that's amazing.
Yeah,
She's
see?
amazing. Tim, I heard that you kind of found yourself in this show. How did that work out?
Well, some people have musical theater aspirations and some people have musical theater thrust upon them. And it was thrust upon me.
Yours was the latter.
And there's a reason I try to fade into the background during the dance numbers because I'm still trying to kind of keep up.
So
that's okay.
Living with a
You're in good
choreographer
company.
hasn't really rubbed off in any way, shape, or form.
Not in the least.
I see.
I'm still going left and everybody else is going right.
That happens.
And in fact, one of our nieces were, both of them, not one of them, were in the house for a pickup rehearsal on Wednesday. And I'm in the back row on stage and I'm trying to watch everybody else go right, so I know to go right, but I'm looking at my niece going left and I went left.
And of course, you only had like 8 weeks of rehearsal to get
Oh,
this
of course,
so it's
of course.
understandable, but not a whole lot of time to really put that together.
No, I still, I'm 50 years old, I still don't know my right from my left, which is a real handicap on
Hay
stage.
foot, straw foot. Hay foot, straw foot.
So, Musette, I don't know how many shows you've choreographed for the CTG Canyon Theater Guild in the past, however many years, but many.
Many.
Was this a challenge or was it pretty easy? I love how you teach people dance moves, by the way. And there's one way, one of the dances, I can't say how she does it on the air, what she says, is waving something behind your.
Yeah.
But you seem to have a way of kind of locking it in for people. Do you find is that challenging from show to show? Does it depend on who's in the cast? Left-footed people like myself?
Oh
or?
yeah, I mean, and everybody has, especially in this show, a show like this, you have people of different degrees of dance ability, I guess, or or their past dance shows, is what I want to say.
Right.
It was difficult putting this one together only because we had so many challenges. Technically, we were working with a show track, which was different from a click track, which was different from the performance track. So it seemed like once me and the other choreographer would get something down, we'd have to say, thank you for learning all that, but now we have to change it. And I have to tell you,
It's in a different rhythm, different key, and this is a samba. Who knew?
32 more counts out of nowhere, and
Yay.
But I have to tell you that this cast, despite the challenges that we faced, were really, really were great. I mean, and everybody says that, I'm sure, with every show that goes on, but they really, really were. We had some last minute challenges, and I told them that on Monday of Tech Week, we were really, really shaky, but by Wednesday, oh my God, the show just came together. And I have to give props to our director.
Ingrid Boydston, I was
yes.
about to mention her. Hi, Ingrid.
She put a fabulous, fabulous cast and crew together, and we couldn't have done it without her. In many shows previously, I would have panicked a long time ago. She kept things very calm.
I've had the pleasure of working with her on many, many occasions, and she does have that sunny disposition,
She does.
even in the face of budget concerns or time concerns, or sometimes
Or motorcycles.
absentees, or anything like that.
Motorcycles. The show has a motorcycle? I mean, I know Fonz has the leather motorcycle jacket.
Just like Miss Saigon, it's integral to have that helicopter. It's important to have the motorcycle, which we didn't know that we were going to get or not. And
Magic of theater.
Intimated.
Yeah.
It's intimated.
The magic
I see.
of theater. That's amazing. So I want to get a little bit of background just for the uninitiated. Georgie, we've had you on the show at least once or twice, and Nancy, original co-host of the Friday Matinee.
Yes.
But I want to talk a little bit. Start with George and give us a little background on your experience and how you got here.
Well, it's a funny thing. I heard of Canyon Theater Guild in 2003 when they were about to do Noises Off, the show Noises Off. And so I said, I'm interested. I came to watch their performance of Oliver just to check out the vibe, and it's very family oriented. And I noticed all the kids were wearing the same shoes. I said, wow, this place got it going on. Everyone's great. Mike Levine was Fagin, and it was just like, wow, there's some kind of special around here. So I came in and started doing shows. I did a Christmas Present, I believe, as my first show.
I remember that.
Musical.
shoes
Yeah.
do matter. Shoes matter.
Oh, man. Oh, and those shoes did matter. It brought me back all the way from sunny Silmar. And I started doing shows ever since, and been just having so much fun. And there's just a desire to come back, a sense of family, sense of communication and network, and a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
Tara, you gave us a little bit of background, but give us a little bit of background on your experience. How did you end up as a musical theater type person?
My mom always jokes that she's heard way more musical theater than she ever dreamed or wanted to, having me as a child. She doesn't know where it comes from, but I've been doing theater all my life. I grew up at the Renaissance Fair with Shakespeare, did children's theater. I studied acting and majored in theater at UCLA. And after graduation, I, had been on a couple auditions. I'm on a few different websites, so that's how I found out about the Rep, is through LA Casting. They were doing auditions for Jesus Christ Superstar. And I just thought, I love that musical. And I hadn't been able to really do live theater in a while since graduation. So came up, auditioned, and originally was an ensemble. Then they had me audition for the role of Simon Zealot in front of the entire cast during rehearsal one day. And, they said I did awesome, and I got that part. And I just had never found a theater company or a group of people that was so supportive and encouraging. And I mean, this whole neighborhood at night with all the Christmas lights on, it's just this magical little niche that I found. And then I'm even more encouraged with working at Canyon Theater Guild now. Everyone is so talented, but so encouraging and supportive and humble and excited to be here. And I feel really lucky.
Welcome to the OTN.
Yeah.
And then Richie, you get to tell us your experience.
Well, yeah, for me personally, I always thought I would be for radio because my mom said I had a face for it. But but for some reason, I got into theater. And for me, I really wasn't into theater when I was younger until I was about like 12 or so, and I did a workshop at Kenyon Theater Guild, and it was so much fun. It was such a good one.
Now, did you get signed up for that? Did you ask to go to it? Did you have a friend who wanted to do it? How did that happen?
Well, because sometimes it was mainly my mom who saw Kenyon Theater Guild, and I got my brother and my sister, who were both older than me, by the way, and they went and we all auditioned. Well, not for you pay for it to go into it, and it's mainly more of a learning experience, and it was very awesome. And after that, I kind of was like stepped away, and I was kind of thinking about it. And later, I went back to Kenyon Theater Guild for a production of Les Mis, and that was amazing. That was when I was like, I need to do more of this, because it was so awesome, and being a part of it was one of the best decisions I made because it was just so much fun and so amazing. And for me, I really don't have a lot of acting experience, no vocal schools or something like that, but I just grew up watching a lot of the greats like Groucho Marx, and I love Charlie Chaplin, and a lot of those old actors. They are so talented and they have such abilities, and I got inspired by them.
Your enthusiasm is infectious, and I hope anyone listening who wants to either be a part of it, discover that side of themselves, or maybe within their own family with their kids, I hope they that, because it's palpable. And I love that not only did you go and do it, that you're having that magical experience at Kenyon Theater Guild, because it's a very special place.
And he's a perfect Richie Cunningham, obviously.
And you'll get to see some of his physical comedy and some of his Groucho Marx inspirations in our wrestling scene.
Wrestling, all right. And
that was more Three Stooges, though.
Nancy Netflix Lantis, as we should call her. Nancy Fancy Pants gets out there. I was going to say gets around, but that's not how. That's another rumor I'll start later.
Phrasing.
But we've had the pleasure of sharing the stage. It's so much fun to work with you, and I can imagine what kind of fun you're having here. But tell me, I mean, I know kind of what you've done in the last few years here, but you are on almost every single show that's out there, it seems like. But you're a regular working actress in between being a mom, right?
Oh, sure. Yeah, you do what you got to do. But I mean, some of these kids, they go to school all day and then they come to theater to do the rehearsals and performances, or they teach like George and Ingrid all day, and then they come, and Tara teaches too, probably the coolest teacher, right? And they come and do shows as well. So I think we all have lives, and we all just keep the dream going, as well as marrying that to our normal day-to-day lives, and one keeps the other going. They kind of circle it. I'll tell you though, George Cummings, I've never been in a show this big. Oh. There's a lot of people in this show.
It's different, isn't it?
Oh my gosh, it's like a bunch of little circus monkeys running around as teenagers.
They're like ants, aren't they?
I know, but and they are wonderful. I gotta say, they are so professional, and they are so excited about doing the show. They take criticism. I mean, not mine, but
direction.
Thank you. Notes, and they just
criticism. I don't really like your sweater.
Again, we're talking with the cast from Happy Days, the musical, now playing over at Kenyon Theater Guild. And if you know the story, the television story, Happy Days, where they all meet at Arnold's Malt Shop, and there's Fonzie,
story
and
of the
Richie,
Cunninghams,
and there's the Cunningham family. They're all here with us today. That's who we're talking with.
And Tim, really quickly, give me a little. You've been here for a few years now at the Kenyon Theater Guild.
Yeah, I actually got started when my son, when he was 10, decided he wanted to be an actor, so he came and auditioned and got a part in a Christmas show with lines and everything. So I started out volunteering, which brings up an excellent point. It's an all-volunteer organization. Everything that's done at the Kenyon Theater Guild is done for free. So anybody who wants to be involved in a theater, whether it's on stage or behind the scenes, please come on, volunteer. But after 3 years of telling my son how to develop a character and how to do things on stage, he kind of started looking at me like, what do you know, old man?
Yeah, there it is.
Big talker.
Yeah, exactly. So I thought, well, fine, I'll show you. So I went and auditioned, and he still looks at me that way. I went and auditioned and wound up in Fox and the Fairway with you and with Nancy, and directed by Ingrid, and had a great time. And here I am.
6 Degrees of Ingrid Boydston.
Yeah, exactly.
And really quickly, Musette, because you are like choreographer par excellence.
Oh, thank you.
And you know how to make a lot of dishes with Spam.
I do. You're telling my secrets. I came here from Michigan after having owned and operated 3 dance studios. And originally, I came to the Canyon Theater Guild because my children wanted to audition for South Pacific. And it was something that eventually got our entire family involved, my 4 children, myself, and their father. So Canyon Theater Guild is also a place where the entire family can be involved. In fact, we've got a mother and one of her daughters, and a couple, and a father and a daughter, Steve and Riley Milton.
And it is amazing how much talent comes through, and then how it's a learning ground. And you have a wildly talented family, the kids you're speaking of. But the idea that, as Tim said, it's volunteers, people come in, but it's a fabulous place to learn a craft. It's a great place to explore what craft you have inside of you. And if you're an audience member, if you've not yet had an opportunity to spend time in a theater, Canyon Theater Guild is an incredible a garden of talent. The prices for tickets are reasonable, but the talent on stage and what is produced there is unlike any other community that you could go to. It's a lot of bang for your buck. And every seat is fantastic in that theater.
Make your reservations now at 799-2702. That's 799-2702. Thank you. Oh, really quickly, is there a Potsy in this thing?
There is.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Ralph Malph? Is there a Ralph Malph?
Sit on it, Papa.
Okay,
yeah.
just making sure they're not leaving out.
All the characters from the show that you remember
Okay.
are there.
What about
Do you
Chachi?
even know the Malachis?
I remember the Malachis.
You do?
I watched the TV show until Chachi came in. I'm like, I don't.
We have a Chachi,
We have a
too.
great
I was
We have an
jealous.
adorable Chachi.
I was jealous. Anyway, we are out of time. Don't forget Canyon Theater Guild's Happy Days, the new musical, along with CSI Wonderland, also running concurrently. So make your reservations now. You can go and learn about these shows, canyontheater.org. Make your reservations, 799-2702. We'll be back with the final wrap-up right after this. The Friday Matinee on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS. Welcome back to the Friday Matinee on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS. You are.
I am T.
And I am George.
And this was very fun today. We got
Sorry.
to cover some. Thanks, George.
turning the wrong
Just, hey,
things
turn
down.
off my mic. Lovely to have not only theater presence for the Santa Clarita Valley with the Canyon Theater Guild and the upcoming Happy Day, or now running Happy Days the musical, but a film shot here in Santa Clarita with some Santa Clarita talent, Sinkhole, which you can find on Amazon Prime, streaming, and iTunes Movies. Soon it will be on Netflix, starring Eric Roberts, Gina Holden, Jeremy London, and also Steve Rizzo and Paris Dillon. I love when we get a room filled with talent. It's just the walls vibrate with it. It's great.
I think it's wonderful too, especially shooting in Santa Clarita with Sinkhole, because that's that's stuff that stays here in the town. But a lot of people don't realize how much, like people who come from somewhere else and they want to go to Hollywood and see all this is like, I can take you around and show you where all this stuff was shot. What's your favorite TV show? I can take you to this.
Oh yeah, the idea that you go down Sierra Highway and there you saw almost weekly on ER, because I was a huge ER fan with the, and I'd see the Halfway House and I'd see all these different places. And then the fact that Charlie Chaplin, one of his, all of his films are iconic and incredible. Historically, you can go through many places in Santa Clarita, including Sierra Highway, and match the shot all these years later, shot for shot, scene for scene, the topography of the Santa Clarita Valley. It's a great place to shoot.
Exactly. And with Happy Days, it's always fun to see people. Like I've worked with Tim Hart playing Arnold, worked with Nancy Landis at least on 2 shows, and George Chavez, I've directed him and worked with him in shows, and also to meet new people, and that's the whole thing. And Musette, of course, we go way back, but and to meet new people too. So that's what the wonderful thing about the Canyon Theater Guild is, that sense of family.
Yes.
And it is true. Look for the audition notices. Call the theater. You can always ask what's coming up, or you can just see what there is to volunteer, especially when they're doing set building and stuff.
And that is something important I think everyone needs to hear. If you are not picked for that particular role, or consider what you can do to give back to the theater, get to know everyone, you will have just as much fun running the lights, working in the snack shop, building sets. It's a wonderful, wonderful experience from soup to nuts. Canyon Theater Guild is a great place.
Soup to nuts.
And by nuts. I don't mean,
A little
the
bit.
personalities.
A little bit in column A. I'm doing math while we're talking here. It's all good. So, yes. Happy Days musical. And we didn't really talk enough about CSI Wonderland, but I've heard great things about that. That's written by Wade Bradford.
One of my
who is
favorites.
a local Santa Clarita author and playwright, but his works have been published. And actually, he shot a picture of one of his shows. It was, I think, of the Ukraine or one of those Eastern
where they were
European-
doing one of his plays.
Yeah.
He's one of the most talented writers I've ever come across, and lucky to have him in our valley.
And on that,
Is that it? Are we done?
We are. This has
Okay,
been the
then.
Friday Matinee on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS. Stick around for My Conscious Dad, and we're going to do a little bit of a Happy Days
Play out?
play out right here. This is it.